to the sections, the scope of the total income, how the scope of the total income, saying that if the individual is resident and ordinary resident in India, then in such cases he is liable to pay tax on his global income. Okay, and in case if the SSC is resident or a non-resident in India, not ordinary resident in India, then in such case he is liable to tax on his source based income. So suppose if an expatriate employee who is coming in India for the purpose of employment, and the stock option plan has been awarded to an employee to remain with the company, let's say for 5 years, and out of that 5 years he is residing in India for a period of, let's say, 2 years. He is worked in India, let's say a 2 years period, and afterward he is repatriated back out of in their home country. Then in such cases the proportionate value of the tax proportionate perquisites value as calculated under section 17(2)(6) would be taxable in India, though the employee is repatriated back to India, but again the perquisites value would definitely be taxable in India, and the taxable value would be calculated based on proportionately on the based on the number of days he is rendering services in India. Again, in case of a resident, an ordinary resident in India, then in such cases he is liable to pay tax on his global income. Then in such cases the proportionate taxability question would not arise. But again, if the same if the employee stock options plan perquisites value is getting taxed in more than one countries, like in India and in another country, then in such cases if he is becoming a resident and ordinary resident in India, then in such cases he is entitled to claim FTC or a relief under as defined under section 90 or 91 of the Income Tax Act. Again, there would be another question, like if in case of a resident or ordinary resident in India, the taxable event, like in India the perquisite value would be taxable in the year in which the shares are transferred or allotted to an employee by the employer. Then the taxable event would be occurred on the date of allotment or exercise of the stock options plan. However, in case if in a foreign country, like if this stock option plan is taxable on a granting date, then in such cases there would be a different taxing period. Like in supposing if an employee is coming from a US, wherein the rule says that the stock options plan would be taxable on the date of grant, and in India if the same would be taxable on the date of exercise, then in such cases though the period would be different, let's say 2 years back the options has been granted to an employee, and in that day in that year the SSC has paid taxes in US, and now after 2 years he is going to tax on the same income on the stock options plan in India. Then in such cases though the year would be different, but he is entitled to claim an FTC under the Income Tax Act, provided he is becoming a resident and ordinary resident in the year of exercise or a grant, in the year of exercise or a allotment of the shares. So this is basically a contentional issue that needs to be substantiated before the income tax authority. So we have broadly discussed all the taxable events, the taxing events, like the salary part and the capital gain part, and we have covered the conditional issue about the residential status when there would be a not ordinary resident in India, and if the employee is coming from out of India, then in such cases how the proportionate value would be taxed in India, and we have covered the how the FTC would be claimed in case there would be a different taxing event in different jurisdictions. So I hope you all would have enjoyed the sessions, and thank you very much.